just some encouragement to share with you guys, to share what's on my mind. I love to share what I have been feeling, what has been encouraging to me, what has been inspiring to me, what God has been kind of showing me and working on in me in this season of life. And I thought that today was the perfect time to just film something. First thing I want to talk about is Christmas schooling, the thought or idea or concept of Christmas schooling, and what it's looked like in the past for our family and what it looks like this year, which is very, very, very different. We have been homeschooling for 13 years. My oldest is a sophomore, then I have an 8th grader and I have a 5th grader. Now, all the years in the past, we have done something specific for the month of December that is a solid Christmas-themed unit study. We're taking a break from normal school subjects to soak in that Christmas-themed idea. And I remember our very most favorite unit study that we've done through Christmas is the very first year we did the Gather Round unit study. That was absolutely transformational in our home and in our family. And since we've done others, we've repeated that one, we've done other things, and it's looked different every year. There've been years where maybe we didn't do a unit study, but we focused on reading a chapter of Luke every single day leading up to Christmas, and then we have read the whole Christmas story. And so it's looked different. And I'm saying all this to say, coming at you in truth and honesty, that life's been very interesting for us over here lately, and nothing like crazy out of the normal, but crazy for our family, a little bit different for our family. I can find myself this time of year feeling a pull and a draw to add in things, to add in a Christmas themed unit study, to add in more. Maybe put traditional schooling aside, but add in something. Like, life can be so romanticized in this season. And I'm using that word because I feel like that comes from Instagram. I can find that I myself get very overwhelmed with the pressure and the weight of needing to do Christmas schooling and needing to have all these books and all these extra things that we just need to do. And so I sat and pondered this for a little while. I'm going somewhere. I sat and pondered this for a little while and was just like, man, what does this look like for my family this year? I have my oldest who's working. We're not doing co-op. We're taking a break off co-op. So I have this time on Tuesdays now that I could put something in and we could just really have this beautiful, like, so still yet so incredible, an incredible season in our home doing Christmas schooling, right? So I pondered it. I'm like, what one do I want to do? I reached out to some of my friends, varying ages, okay? These women are all of varying ages. And I just asked them, mamas, tell me, what are some traditions that you do in your home that are meaningful and significant to you during this time of year as we prepare for Christmas? Like, what are things that you do in your family things that are just treasures to you and your family? And everybody had something a little bit different to say, and none of it had anything to do with a unit study or homeschool type stuff. So as I continued to just dive into this and I continued to get responses from friends about different things that they do and different things that they love, things that their kids love, things that had been family traditions, I found like a light bulb went off in my head. We meaning myself, the world, maybe you, maybe not, maybe we're not in the same boat in this, and that's okay too. But in this season of life, there are just times where we can add in a little bit more, and there are times when it's like, no, right now we're going to rest. Right now we're going to breathe. Right now we're going to be. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to wait for the next step. That's what we're going to do. So, one of the very wise women that had responded said, why don't you ask your kids what they want to do? Here are some things we do, but have you ever asked your children what they find and hold special and true and close? And I'm going to share with you in just a minute the responses that I got from my kids. And I'm going to tell you that none of them had anything to do with a unit study. None of them had anything to do with adding in more, but it had to do with every bit of being present and being still and the simple pleasures in life. Nothing is extravagant or elaborate or a weight or a burden, none of it. And I just felt this huge release inside that I didn't even realize I had been carrying through this time of year, this year specifically, because it hasn't always been that way. It hasn't always been an extra thing that I'm like, Christmas schooling, what are we going to do for Christmas school? What are we going to do? Like, I want to do something amazing. And we've done that. We've done the unit studies and done all the amazing things. This year, however, I've got nothing in me for that specific thing. I am craving, heart and soul craving, and can just feel just this like relief, like rest, just presence, and this light bulb moment of, what are your kids? What are some memories they want to make? What are some traditions that they hold close to them? So I'm going to share those with you. And then I want to talk a little bit more about some things that I have been reminded of that maybe in this season will be a sweet reminder to you also. Because as life looks different each and every single day that we walk out, right? Like, God is leading our steps. Releasing that burden as a mom, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, releasing that burden, taking a moment to say, okay, this is what I need for today. Understanding and appreciating that things are going to look different in these seasons that are just different, in these seasons that are just unknown, in these seasons where you can see something has been removed and now you're going to take a moment and you're going to just rest. We're not going to feel that. For us, it was co-op. Co-op has been removed for a season because we're on winter break. That doesn't mean that now I have a whole extra day to pile something else on. That's not what that means. I can feel inside that is, we're just going to focus on being together. We're going to focus on being present with each other. We're going to focus on being intentional in some of those things that have been lacking these last few months in our homeschool and in our home. And I find that to be so refreshing to my soul. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So no, this isn't some crazy, like, I don't know, maybe it's inspirational, maybe it's helpful, I don't know. But for me, it's just some things that have been like light bulb moments that have really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I love how the Lord does this. I love how He opens our eyes in different ways and how we're all in different seasons, because I've had moments and seasons of life where we've done the extra things and it was there to do. Like, I had it in me, I had a hunger and a desire, and we loved it. We loved it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in this season, the ages that my kids are and where we're at in life, I know for our home and our needs what we are needing. And that is not to bring in something extra that is on a time crunch that we are going to try and accomplish before. It is slow, still, present moments that aren't extravagant and over the top. It's the simple, beautiful things that we do every year, actually. So let me get the list. I want to read them to you. I had each of my boys write down the things, just a handful of things that they would love to do before Christmas, like as traditions, but then also just wintertime. These are what we have, okay? My youngest says, look at Christmas lights, which we do this. We drive and look at Christmas lights and get ice cream or hot cocoa and drive around probably twice every week leading up to Christmas, because I love Christmas lights, and so do my boys. We have sledding behind the Suburban, which we do a lot in the mountains, snowmobiling, making snow ice cream. I don't know if you've done that before, but we did that last year for the very first time, and my boys loved it. So making snow ice cream. Then my middle child wants same thing, to get ice cream and look at Christmas lights, play games, and watch a Christmas movie. Three simple things. Then my oldest, look at Christmas lights as a family, go sledding or tubing. There is a tubing hill about 2.5 hours away from where we are, and we had kind of made that a little bit of a tradition to go even just as our family or with family, and so we'll see. But that's something that is a wintertime thing, not necessarily before Christmas. Eat a bunch of waffle cookies, which that is a very near and dear recipe to my heart that my grandma always made, and as a kid I remember grandma's waffle cookies, and to this day I make them for our family. For my dad, for my brother, that's the waffle cookies. Like I've carried on that tradition. So I love that he put in there that he wants to eat a bunch of waffle cookies, go for a drive in the mountains with the Suburban and get stuck in the snow, and be pulled behind the Suburban with sleds. So this was like nothing crazy. Like, do you see what I'm saying here? Like yes, I understand the point and the purpose of Christmas schooling, and I understand the point of like welcoming, the birth of our Savior, like preparing our hearts and our homes, and I understand all of that, and that's not really necessarily what I'm referring to in this. I'm more speaking on terms of adding in extra things that when I begin to feel burdened that I'm not doing enough, or that, it took me forever even to just get my Christmas tree decorated, because I'm like, we're kind of in a transitional period. So what is this even going to look like, And I just go back to rest. I keep going back to rest. And I feel like we are very close to being out of this season, this wilderness, we will say. I feel like something is coming and something is changing. I very much feel that, and have felt that for probably a month and a half now. And so with that, I want to take time to kind of tune out all the extras and really just be present with my family, be present and make space and time for God, and for Him to speak, and for Him to shine, and for Him to light our path. I just feel very different this year than I have in the past, and I think it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Like, I can feel it. I can feel something inside of me that's stirring, and I love it. And with all of that comes these moments of slow, intentional time with my boys that are not adding in extras, right? It's not adding in extra stuff. It's just simply resting and breathing and being. And I love it. This year has just been different. And I was reminded again by another friend of mine to wake up and every day put on grace, like a coat that I would wear. Put it on. Give myself grace every single day. Stop and say, okay, this season's going to look different. Today is going to look different. We are going to do what we have time for today, and then whatever else happens. Like, just really accepting that life, everybody is in different seasons. Everybody's life looks different every single day, and that's okay. To take that unnecessary burden and pressure of performance and cramming all the things in before Christmas and carrying that weight. I don't want to carry that. I don't want to carry that. And just saying, okay, today I'm putting on grace for what today looks like, for what today has. I'm going to do my best. We are going to do what we can, and what we get done in school, we get done. What we get done as far as decorating, we get done. Whatever, like for the month of December, whatever that looks like. And just really, truly accepting and knowing that it's okay. It's absolutely okay. And it's beautiful. And so if you are in that same weird, feeling like transitional season, I hope something here encourages you. I really did not think this through before I got on here and spoke. I just kind of was like, I got something to say and I want to talk about it. And it is just truly putting aside all these unrealistic expectations that we put on ourselves, that the world sometimes can throw at us, that we're not doing enough, we're not making enough special memories, we're not making enough traditions, we're not doing enough, we're not baking enough things for all the people, we're not, whatever. Those are just random things. But I really mean, like, in this season, maybe it's meant to simply be a season of less of all that, of all the extra, and more of what really, really, truly, truly matters. Now that my boys are older, I also feel like this year looks different, and it's meant to. It's supposed to look different. And I love that. I love that. If you need that reminder to put on grace every single day, to accept this is what today is going to look like, to do your best, to tell yourself it's okay that today is going to look different. It's okay that this year is going to look different. It's okay that this is what we're going to get done. It's okay that homeschooling is going to look different. It's okay. It's okay. It's just a season. This too will pass. And I can't wait to see what's on the other side. I truly can't wait to see what's on the other side. It's going to be great. No matter what, it's going to be great. Allow yourself that time, that grace, to just accept that sometimes things just look different. And to me, that's beautiful. I can look back at those seasons and those unit studies and those moments of Christmas schooling and doing all these extra things and see how beautiful they truly were. And then lean into where I feel the Lord is leading us, which is to be present, to be still, to play games together, to watch Christmas movies together, and to just make those simple, sweet memories that don't include all the extra and filling up any extra day with all the extra things, because I don't feel like that's where we are being called to right now either. So anyway, so much that I could say and elaborate on, and all the things, and I wish I could sit and talk with you each individually and encourage you each individually in whatever you might be going through, because I can say if you're walking through a crazy season, we've walked through crazy seasons. And that's why I think it's important to share this also, because I'm certain that I'm not the only one who can feel that I need to do more. I'm running out of time. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? When are we going to do this? What about this tradition? What about that tradition? What about going and looking at these lights? What about the parade? We missed the parade, whatever. Like, all those things are wonderful and beautiful and memorable. But maybe the Lord is drawing you in a little closer, just like He is our family. That's what I have for you today. I'm so thankful you're here. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you soon for another video. Have a very Merry Christmas if I don't see you before, but hopefully I will. We'll talk soon.